Welcome to a 1v1 on Kholodny Ferma. This game is Ice9 playing as Soviets versus RedxWings Legendary Oster. We're going to see shock rifles, Soviet shock army, guard motor versus Festung support, storm Festung support? I was totally wrong. Jaeger infantry, storm Jaeger infantry. Okay, well, I guess I got 1 out of 2. Festung support doesn't have a monocle. He has like he just has glasses on, right? I guess something like that. I don't know. So, double Pio, double MG42 for RedxWings, which is of course an extremely dangerous and difficult build.
We have more conscripts at our disposal.
Triple conscript from Ice9. Some barbed wire going down here in the south. Pio is moving to take control of the strategic point right here. Conscript fighting position going up here on the munitions.
Workers of the Soviet Union.
No engagements yet. RedxWings getting very aggressive towards the Soviet cutoff and making play for the fuel here rather than the munitions in-house like most Oster players tend to. Does not finish the sandbag fighting position as he starts to transition towards the victory point and cutoff. And RedxWings will protect the Soviet cutoff and vault into red cover to get into close range on those conscripts. I guess he did that on purpose. I thought that was a misclick for sure. Conscripts will be forced to retreat, and Pios move up to take control of this strategic point here while he's simultaneously being cut off here in the back by conscripts. More conscripts. Pios circle around to simply get control of the victory point for now. And conscripts will disengage away from this point to take control of the church instead. Combat engineers continue capping around the south, and so far nobody holds anything. Actually, no, the Soviet player holds this munitions. But other than that, pretty much everything everywhere is cut off.
Conscripts, now you can use Molotovs to burn those bastards.
Ready and willing.
The enemy has taken
MG42s in both buildings force an easy retreat from those conscripts. This one's going to rotate out of the church after a Molotov gets threatened and cancelled. MG42 here. Third MG42 on the map for RedxWings, who has chosen Storm Doctrine and is probably going to start throwing ambush camouflage on the MGs for the ambush camouflage. Pio's heading right away from conscripts, and this is just such a chaotic map. Nothing makes any sense. Soviet player still hasn't taken control of his cutoff, and everything is cut off here in the north too. So again, nobody holds a fuel point, and it's just anarchy everywhere. Conscripts will be forced to retreat from there. Combat engineers are trying to restore balance by taking back control of the cutoff. Pios engaging against this squad of conscripts will force them to retreat as well. Right now we're looking at a 4 conscript opening from Ice9, who has also purchased himself healing and Molotovs, and RedxWings is going to operate on finally a squad of grenadiers on the field. After his 3 machine gun double Pio opening, he's getting himself a mortar, and he's probably still not battle phase 1 against Soviets. He doesn't feel a particular need to get himself anti-tank protection just yet. Still only 5 minutes into the game, so he's got some time before that becomes an absolute necessity.
team available for deployment.
MG42 setting up here. Grenadiers moving towards the cutoff again. They may hit that mine. Or not. Just jumping into the green cover instead. MG42 suppresses these guys. Pio's about to get pushed away by conscripts here in the north, though, and they will not be able to get that fuel point captured. RedxWings will retreat instead. MG42's set up here with ambush camouflage here behind the truck and here in the church, keeping them pretty close to each other so they can support each other well against big pushes by Ice9, but so far it doesn't look like he's gonna try anything. Circling pretty deep south with these two squads, and he may try and time a flank against Red Wings' defensive position in the center with reinforced and healed squads here from his base. He's also gone tier 2 to maybe try and punish this build with some Soviet mortars of his own, and he has not chosen a commander yet. Guard Motor and Soviet Shock Army both have access to the heavy mortar if that's an option he wants to pursue as well. MG42s will shut down a frontal assault easily though. This squad also getting suppressed, and it looks like those conscripts will be forced to retreat. Red Wings repositions his camo MG to a different position, but doesn't look like those conscripts had really any intention of tossing a Molotov anyway, and they will be forced to retreat back to base. And the map continues to be just nonsense. Fun fact, the victory point is connected to this point. I'm not sure that's ever really been applicable before, but Red Wings is getting resources from that strategic point. Squad got wiped? How? A mortar hit, I guess. One of the 4 conscript squads goes down. That'll be the first wipe of the game, as far as I know.
We are losing territory.
We have the point. Riflemen ready.
Combat engineers taking control of the strategic point right there. MG42 firing on conscripts here in the green cover position. We'll get both of those suppressed between the church MG and the truck MG. Molotov task forces repositioning. But everything will generally be fine. This frontal assault. Lose a bunch of conscripts, retreat, repeat isn't working very well. Half-track in production for Red Wings now. Soviet mortars on the field. Gets a pretty good hit off on Red Wings mortar and will wipe it. Kills the one retreating model just for good measure.
Squad at full strength.
Minesweeper right there on the mine. Nice pickup by Red Wings to get that cleared. Still has not retreated this Pio. Playing a little risky here. Soviet player has gone tier 2. No fuel after that for anything, really. There's shock troops on the field now in addition to the mortar.
Orders, comrade.
Maybe these will be able to accomplish something the conscripts thus far have not. Red Wings, however, has lost total control of the north, but he's just going to play for the cutoff for now. Grenadiers moving to shut down all Soviet income from those points. And here's the half-track to reinforce Red Wings' very aggressive forward position right here. MG42 is going to reposition out of the church, which is being flanked from the north. MG42 here also repositioning closer to this house, I guess. I don't even know what it's thinking. Shock troops are running straight up the road, and there's no machine gun pointed at them, except for this one, actually. But it's reloading. This one's falling a little bit low. Yes, MG42 is pointed towards those shocks as well, and the MG42 is going, or the half-track is going to interfere significantly with their pathing. Grenade brings this machine gun low. Mortar also bombarding a lot of Red Wings stuff in this position here, but it looks like he will hold against the conscripts coming in from the north flank. This house and shock troops up the straight road, and these conscripts are a little bit late to the engagement. If they had arrived during it, maybe things would have gone a little differently. And the fact that he has no AT grenades, of course, also hurts his ability to do anything about that half-track, just pushing him around. In fact, that could be a wipe right there. There they go, conscripts wiped. And Red Wings' defense right here proves too strong yet again. Combat engineers taking control of some territory here. Gonna try and get control of the victory point right there. Also, Panzer Grenadiers taking control of this point up in the north. And the cutoff is still in Red Wings' control, which means Soviet income is nothing at all. He doesn't have a single point to his name right now that isn't cut off from his base. Demo charge? No, mine going down on this VP to try and bleed Red Wings' counter-harassment attempt by these Panzer Grenadiers. Everything else has reinforced back to full health on the half-track for now, and he will continue to try and hold the line while his fuel ticks up towards a tier 3? Tier 3 is being researched right now, so maybe he might skip straight to tier 4 if he feels that he's far enough in the lead, but that's unlikely. Here comes the mine, maybe.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Combat engineers will be forced to retreat first. Wow. And he just decides to randomly walk away from the mine. Red Wings map hacking confirmed. Red Wings, please. Stop with these cheats. Bio's taking control of the strategic point right there. Soviet mortar bombarding around here. And Oster counter bombarding as well. Mortar fight. So far, neither of them really hitting each other at all. If Red Wings really wanted to go full OMG pop, he would throw up a medic bunker right here instead of in his base. So currently he hasn't built one anywhere. Minesweeper heading south, and it actually will spot those mines. I think the fact that he had chased away combat engineers made Red Wings think, I better check. And he does, and he will successfully clean up those mines. So nicely played by Red Wings right there. Very, very good game sense. Grenade and counter grenade being exchanged. Oh no, Panzer Grenadiers. Probably gonna go down.
You can now use camouflage to ambush the enemy.
I think.
That is at risk.
Maybe not. Wow, miracle escape right there. Those conscripts totally failed. Totally failed to seal the deal. Another big attack towards Red Wings' defense of the Soviet cutoff. He will take control of this cutoff point again with those Pios. Mortar and machine guns are successful in forcing all conscripts and shock troops back into the base, and Ice9 continues to operate on a tiny army. Tiny army. He was about to queue up a second mortar, maybe change his mind and he has gone shock rifle, by the way. Maybe changed his mind and thinks maybe he wants more shock troops, or just, I don't even know. He should probably make more conscripts. He needs more cheap, numerous infantry for capping power. He doesn't have any capping power to harass territory and pull Red Wings' front line apart. Particularly this area is quite weak, so...
Shock troops have arrived. Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
That's the last one.
Counter barrage on the mortar, by the way. Doesn't seem like it's working very well, and he has to retreat. Nice to see it attempted, though. I don't think I've ever seen anybody even use that ability. It successfully killed 2 members of this mortar before having to retreat itself from shock troops. Maybe if that had lasted a little longer, he would have been more useful. I don't know.
Supply sector under attack.
Panzer Grenadiers engaging in the south are falling pretty low to conscripts and will be forced to retreat. This MG will force a retreat from that shock troop squad, though. This machine gun is maybe going to die to those shock troops. Stuck around a little too long. Grenadiers moving up into the center to try and bleed those shocks as they chase. It looks like that member of the squad will get away miraculously. Shocks disengaged from that completely. Half-track desperately needs repairs, and Red Wings has been forced completely off the battlefield with all units except for a squad of Pios, and it looks like finally Ice9's going to be able to get a little more territory under control, but Red Wings maintained a really strong aggressive containment for almost 13 full minutes, which may be pretty difficult for Ice9 to recover from. Fortunately, he held north for a pretty significant portion of the game, so that might help, but the amount of conscript squads he's lost this early is also going to be very problematic. He's lost 2 of his 4, and he's lost a combat engineer squad, so pretty rough game for him. Plus Red Wings in the lead for model losses by about 25, so looking pretty difficult. There's the medic bunker for Red Wings. No Regal mines from Red Wings, I don't think. He does have the half track, but instead he just decided to spend the munitions on flame projectors, which are even more non-meta than Regal mines. Mortar making its way towards this point to do some backcapping, conscripts grabbing the munitions, shock troops going in on the Pios there in the north.
Forces are securing our territory. Standing by. The bunker has been converted to an emergency medical station.
Here comes the super duper flame half track. Shock troops are one of the only Soviet units that it actually counters, so that's fun to see. Kills one of them and forces an immediate retreat. Very nice. And if anybody was watching Star-Crossed Kings earlier today, Love Nest actually fielded one of these against Barton and wiped a shock troop squad that was not being monitored during a very busy part of the game, so that was actually pretty cool. Unfortunately, it did not happen on camera, but it did happen, I think. I'm pretty sure. One of RedxWings' 3 machine guns just got wiped inside of the church. The second squad of shock troops is being flamethrowered to death and mortared to death. They'll probably have to retreat soon. I'm surprised they're sticking around so long in this engagement, although they are extremely spread out right now, so that helps negate some of the flamethrower damage.
Ready for orders. The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
We're being massacred! Bastards are trying to flank us!
Molotov on the machine gun, and off they go.
We have liberated the objective. We are losing a sector. We have the sector. Soviet forces attacking.
Shock troops going in on this minesweeper squad up here, forcing that retreat. Incendiary artillery on the house forces RedxWings to reposition ever so slightly. And Panzer Grenadiers are making their way towards the cutoff, currently defended by a field gun, mortar, shock troops, and the combat engineers making their way to the front line. If that AT gun gets cleared, I don't even know what it's doing. If it gets cleared, that flame half track will easily be able to roll up and push away all 3 of these things. None of those things have a counter to the flame HT. There's the retreat though. Shock troops making their way straight towards RedxWings fuel to try and shut that down. Late retreat on those conscripts, what is that? I don't even know what that was supposed to accomplish. That was terrible. They went down so quick. Half tracks up to 5 kills. Not bad, actually. Not bad at all. Shock troops keep taking the fuel here in the north. Pyos making their way through the south. Fuel cache on this point's probably not going to last that long. AT gun on the field for RedxWings, moves up to take it out now. Grenadiers firing on the conscripts right there. There goes the cache. Molotov toss on those Grenadiers. No crits though, they'll be able to get back to safety easily enough. Heavy mortar on the field? No, precision strike on something. I don't even know what that was aimed at. Doesn't look like it did anything too serious though. Machine gun is going to camo here on the green cover of this tank. Another machine gun set up in yellow cover behind this log. And RedxWings has a pretty strong defense set up right here. This may be difficult to crack. Panzer IV on the field. RedxWings has gone tier 3, not tier 4, which makes sense because he kind of lost his extremely early aggressive lead here on the cutoff, so tier 3 is a much safer, more sensible decision. Ice9, however, has also gone tier 3. Instead of stalling for call-ins, will field a T-34, so that's actually going to help RedxWings a lot since he's not ever going to be able to make a Tiger this game. Pyos taking control of the south munitions, and these Pyos are taking control of the victory point and so on. Panzer Grenadiers taking control of the fuel. And these are both extremely late tanks because nobody held a fuel point in the early game for like 6-7 straight minutes. So the Panzer IV and T-34 both hit the field at the same time that sometimes I've seen 17-minute IS-2s. But only now at 20 minutes are Panzer IVs and T-34s arriving, which is kind of funny. Shock troops are going to force away 2 squads of Pyos here in the south, and combat engineer squad's probably going to be forced to retreat by the flamethrower plus shocks as well. No AT gun in the area. It's currently protecting the center. LMG Gren's moving up right here. Will provide a little bit of vision for the Osterra mortar, which is counter-barraging again. Seems to be landing badly. It just died. I think a precision strike might have just killed it. What was that? Was that a teller mine? What kind of mine was that right there? At least the shock troops went down too. But something detonated a mine on that flat cap track. But this AT gun detonated something right there in that engagement, and a mine exploded under that half track and it died. I don't know if that was a Regal mine or a teller mine or what, but half track down. Panzer IV rotating center.
We've captured it. We fight bravely for the Reich. The enemy. We have a fresh half-track at our disposal.
RedxWings will field himself a new one since he doesn't want to have to try and maintain this defense without forward reinforce. Field gun making its way towards the south VP right there. Try and slow this triple cap. Ice9 currently only has 187 victory points remaining, making this game rather difficult. Panzer IV is going to circle south to try and engage against that T-34. It does need to be careful of this AT gun though. He could bring his own AT gun to support in the engagement if he wanted. There's also a second Soviet mortar on the field, so plenty of targets on the field for that Panzer IV to try and take out. AT gun and T-34 both get shots off on the Panzer IV, which is falling dangerously low, and it's in a traffic jam. RedxWings, what are you doing? Oh my god, that's so dead. RedxWings, please! That was horrible. Good thing he fielded that fresh half track. It killed his Panzer IV right there, basically, by blocking its pathing. So I hope he gets a lot of mileage out of it because he lost a Panzer IV in exchange for it. Panzer Grenadiers forced this mortar to retreat right there. T-34 moves to engage against those Panzer Grenadiers and push them off the map, and now I would say that RedxWings is kind of behind. Regal Mine just went down right here. T-34 might end up hitting that. If it gets immobilized, it's pretty much guaranteed dead to those anti-tank guns, so that could be fun. Wow, that high explosive barrage over the hedge. One shots that machine gun. That was painful. Fortunately, there's a half track here for forward reinforce. Might be able to get that recruit. There's currently one Vet-3 machine gun left. One decrewed right there. The other one died inside this church when it went down. So I would say RedxWings has had pretty good machine gun preservation this game. 23 minutes into the game. None of them stolen. One of them wiped. Better than average, honestly. Most people will struggle to survive even that long, especially on a triple machine gun opening. Grenadiers move up, put pressure on that machine mortar, force it to reposition away. Conscript or shock troops taking control of the fuel here in the north. Try and slow RedxWings fueling, come slow the arrival of his next Panzer IV, although he's actually already got the fuel for it, so I assume he's going to go Panzer IV next. And I also assume Ice9 is probably going to go from T-34 to Collins from this point. Probably IS-2, possibly KV-8. It doesn't need anything super heavy. KV-8 would counter pretty much everything in RedxWings' army, so should be fine. Flame half-track catches shock troops. We'll be able to chase them for a significant portion of their retreat path, but they're probably going to get away. But maybe not. I don't know. T-34 arrives to save the day. Half-track is going to bait that T-34 over Regal. Well, I thought he was going to. I don't know why he would go this direction. Into all of his team weapons where he won't be able to maneuver at all. He might hit it anyway. Oh my god, so close. So close. What is that half-track doing? Bait over the mine. Main gun destroyed. RedxWings gets a miracle with which to try and continue the bait. Meanwhile, mortar clears his Vet-3 machine gun. AT guns are really struggling to actually get shots off on that T-34. A high explosive barrage coming over the church from this. Zis clears that AT gun. Please hit that. Oh my god, are you serious? That T-34 will not hit that mine! Oh my god, the frustration Red Wings must be experiencing right now.
We have lost a pack gun.
Both AT guns cleared. Flame half-track does get away with main gun destroyed, so I guess that's something, but this is gonna get blown up. New Panzer IV in production, everything Red Wings has done is basically fallen apart, and the Soviet player will probably... There, he finally hits the mine. Hits the mine, and he will be immobilized. Panzerfaust from those grenadiers to bring it a little lower, and Red Wings just has to finish it off with anything. It should be pretty easy once that Panzer IV hits the field. I don't see any combat engineers that are going to be able to come and save this thing, except for this squad, which is already retreating off the battlefield because they recovered that AT gun instead of sticking around to try and save this tank, so I don't think there's any way to save that. Here comes the Panzer IV.
Enemy forces are securing our territory. Destroyed.
There it goes. But both AT guns have been stolen, and there's a ZIS on the field, so the Soviet player has a huge amount of anti-tank with which to deal with this Panzer IV. And a pretty significant infantry army, too. So, Red Wings, having lost both of his AT guns, is really going to struggle to kill this IS-2, which is going to be arriving as soon as the manpower gets collected. Couple squads reinforcing and healing here in the base. Things are a little quiet while Red Wings tries to pick up the pieces. Wow. That machine gun just had the first strike bonus right there, even though it's not upgraded with camouflage yet. It's probably a bug. Nobody cares about Jaeger or ambush camouflage bugs, because nobody uses ambush camouflage. But they clearly exist. That first strike bonus just cleared that pack so quick. Pios find a random mortar down here. That's interesting. So Red Wings actually recovers a couple team weapons that he lost. Gets his army back up to a decent size. He's got his half-track on the field. Throws down another Regal mine right here. He's probably going to need something to hit a Regal mine in order to recover control of this game. I don't know, maybe not. He's actually about to have a triple cap going. His recovered mortar's going to get cleared again by shock troops.
The mortar team has been killed.
Minesweeper Pios have to retreat. MG42 is set up here. I like how the gun's invisible. Did you see that? The gun was invisible, but the crew wasn't. Okay. That makes sense. Did they get the first strike bonus again? I couldn't tell. I wasn't paying close enough attention. Shock troops moving up on the flank of that machine gun. Red Wings is setting up that machine gun on the flank and moving this one back to safety. Plus he's got the flame half-track right there. Rifle grenade over the hedge is off target slightly. But I don't think that AT gun should be moving to try and kill that flame half-track right now, right next to Grenadiers. Wow, that snipe though! Apparently I stand corrected. Maybe he considered that a trade that was worthwhile. Loses the AT gun, but does snipe the half-track. Shock troops will retreat to safety. Panzer IV is definitely putting a lot of pressure on the Soviet player, and he does not have any tanks right now. He has a lot of AT though, or at least he did. He's lost both of his stolen AT guns, however. One to that machine gun's first strike bonus, and one to that huge overextension. Huge mortar hit right there. These mortars have been doing some pretty good work this game. This one just got recruited, so I'm not sure what it's done throughout the course of the game, but this one has 23 kills. I don't know how much he's been utilizing precision strike, but either way, great performance by that mortar, and you can tell that Red Wings infantry army has been bleeding hard over the course of this game.
Our opponents are seizing a sector. That's it. We have reduced our foes to 100 points.
100 points remaining for the Soviet player. Still can't seem to get them ticking in
Our territory.
his direction. Throwing some mines down on the VP up here, but a Panzer IV is on its way to head them off. 2 Panzer IVs on the field now for Red Wings. 1 IS-2 will be out within the next 30 seconds or so. Shock troops chase away Panzer Grenadiers here from the middle.
The enemy is taking our territory.
MG-42 suppresses those shock troops and then repositions out of mortar fire. Panzer IV arrives to assist in the engagement as well. Smoke deployed by the shock troops to allow them to finish capturing the sector, and combat engineers in the north will get this captured and get a triple cap going against Red Wings, but he's got 400 victory points in the bank, so there's no huge rush. These 2 Panzer IVs drive up to try and push away the combat engineers in the north. Panzer Grenadiers here in the middle will be encountered by an IS-2. Not much of a counter to that IS-2 on the field at all. Since Red Wings doesn't have any of his AT guns left, this is a pretty serious problem, to which his only solution is 2 Panzer IVs and a sneaky Regal mine right there, which he may be able to convince that IS-2 to drive over. In fact, it looks like it's going to maybe drive over it right now. Maybe not. It's taking a slightly different route. If those Panzer IVs could just get their bait on a little bit. Maybe, yes, there it is. IS-2 just hit the mine. Oh, that's not good. Panzer IVs are turning around. They know this is a huge opportunity, one that probably will not arise again with Red Wings half-track dead. This overextension by the AT gun is going to cost Ice9 hugely. That was his only AT gun. What's he going to do now? Pios move up to take control of that AT gun, which will actually, fun fact, give it a vision bonus because they retain Pios extended sight range. So that's kind of cool. Panzer IVs move up to take shots on that IS-2's rear armor, and I think it's dead. I think that is a dead IS-2. Panzer IVs decide to just move completely away from that, and the AT gun will do the job. Oh, with a Stuka dive bomb. Still isn't quite dead. Still isn't quite dead, but Panzer IV should be able to finish the job. If only Panzer IVs could penetrate the rear armor of an IS-2. Come on, Panzer IVs, you can do this. Oh my god, okay, come on. 4 bounces in a row on the rear armor at point blank range. 5 bounces in a row. 6 bounces in a row, what the fuck? Kill it! Are you serious? Oh my god.
We have lost a panzer. Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Please. Relic, please.
The sector has been cut off.
I can't believe that just happened. That is so dumb. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Well, the stolen Zis gun finishes the job. IS-2 destroyed. Panzer Grenadiers chase everything away right there, and the Panzer Grenadiers will be forced to retreat from shock troops and combat engineers here in the middle. Victory point still very much in Red Wings' favor, and he has a 3rd Panzer IV on the way. Ice9 is actually quite close to his 2nd IS-2 as well. Hopefully Red Wings will have a little bit better AT gun control though. This time than before. Won't lose his packs, or his stolen field gun I should say. And he'll have that as a pretty powerful weapon against the next call-in. Once his Panzer IV plus this gun on the field, be able to at least manage the threat if not take it out reliably.
Panzer IV is ready for battle.
Squad wiped. I wonder if Red Wings is going to consider throwing out another half-track for more Regal mines, since his opponent still has not fielded a Minesweeper. Even though he's got this Combat Engineer squad running around, no Minesweeper. After hitting 2 Regal mines in the almost exact same location. Still no Minesweeper. Maybe he figures he's just swept them all, and the half-track is dead, so he doesn't think anymore are going to arrive. LEFH in progress in Red Wings base, and normally I make some silly comment about, oh, the LEFH is so bad, but whatever. Against double mortar, it's probably actually potentially kind of okay, maybe with counter barrage too, so might see some fun stuff from that. Panzer IV going in on the AT gun right there. We'll pull away from it slowly. Panzer Grenadiers move to clear the gun. What is this? Mortar. Red Wings might recover his mortar again. Shock troops are going to get shut down by the tank right here. Pyos move away. Protect themselves from damage. Shock troops will retreat. Pyos move to continue capturing the munitions point, and... oh no, never mind. I was about to say he's utilizing vehicle cover, but he's not. He's just repairing. That doesn't really count. You get automatic bonus points with me if you use vehicle cover. For any reason, in any engagement. Bonus points. There's the LEFH.
It's done.
Firing at the tier 3 structure, I think. Honestly, you could be shooting at anything. The scatter of the LEFH is so big that it could be centered like over here. I have no idea where the center of that barrage is supposed to be. Somewhere. RNG-tastic. No kills on that barrage as far as I can tell. IS-2 is on the field and chases away some stuff from the front door of the Soviet base, but the points are ticking against him very quickly. Only 51 remaining. This IS-2 is the... oh my god, how did Red Wings sneak a Regal right there? I didn't even know there was one right there. And another IS-2 gets immobilized on a Regal mine. That is probably the game. But I guess the question still remains, will that IS-2 get repaired in time? Will Red Wings be able to prevent it? Combat Engineers are on their way.
Close to victory. Press on. The
LEFH will be available to fire again in 8 seconds, although its scatter is so big it may not even hit this thing. Repairs are ongoing. I don't know if Red Wings has even noticed that that thing is immobilized right there. LEFH is available to fire. Panzer IV pushes away everything from the south. LEFH looks like it's going to fire to protect the center victory point rather than try and prevent repairs of that IS-2. Triple cap is about to stop as shock troops are taking control of the north and conscripts decap the center, although they may get pushed away by Panzer Grenadiers and MG42. And it just doesn't matter. There's not enough time to fully repair that IS-2 and the victory points will run out. Well played by Red Wings. I've never seen 3 Regal mines go off in one game. I don't know if I've ever even seen 1 Regal mine go off in one game. So we saw some pretty fun use of Storm Doctrine in this game. He used almost every feature. I don't think he used tactical movement. But I saw him use 3 Regal mines, lots of ambush camouflage, threw up the LEFH, although it didn't really do anything. And 1 Stuka dive bomb to help him kill that IS-2. So pretty fun stuff. Well played, Red Wings. Axis wins.